Hello, my name is James. I'm a permaculture teacher and designer living and working in Scotland. Here's my simplest explanation of what is permaculture and also what is permaculture design. So, what is permaculture? Permaculture is a school of thought of design to create food, fibres, timber, energy, anything else that we need on a regular basis to survive, but providing those in a really sustainable way. So that's in the bottom right of this triangle. We're also very interested in landscape design, which I've got at the top there. So that's observing the landscape, working with it, making changes if need be to make it more productive. We're also interested in ecology. So the systems that we create to be productive are also good for wildlife, for plants, for biodiversity. People are at the centre of a permaculture project or system. So that's different to conservation in that we're looking after pieces of land primarily for wildlife without people in the middle of them. Whereas permaculture systems have people integrated into the ecosystem. These people tend to have something to live in. Where I live in a house and probably want some food around us, so I put an apple tree in there as well. So it may be necessary to spend some time thinking about how the people in your permaculture project are going to function and work together, enabling all these other activities. One of the differences with permaculture compared to other design systems is there's 3 ethics. These have come from studying indigenous cultures who survived with a way of life for tens of thousands of years, and there's various examples around the world. And what have these different cultures got in common? They must be doing something sustainable. So if we can learn the fundamentals, ethics of what they're up to, that may help us be sustainable as well. So the 3 ethics are earth care, looking after our planet, people care, looking after each other, and future care or fair shares. That third ethic's got a few names. So, what scale can permaculture projects function on? They can be any scale from a window box where you're growing some herbs and there's also flowers for bees, as a small example, right through to whole valley systems, county-wide systems, and everything in between, including gardens, orchards, woodlands, allotments, farms, anything where there's some land, basically. So, what is permaculture design? Permaculture design is the craft of creating a plan, and that plan should be productive, should take into account the landscape, and be good for wildlife. So we take a lot of inspiration from observing nature. Natural systems have 5 billion years of research behind them, so there's some very efficient, very productive ways of doing things. It's our job to understand the patterns. There's also a design process. So this is a special tool which helps you filter through all the information that you've been collecting by getting to know the site and the people. And then the design process can help you filter that down to a useful set of ideas that will go into the plan. Linking the observations of nature and the design process together is a set of principles, and most of these have been directly observed from natural systems. So they can provide some great inspiration and ideas to go into your design. There's a very important network with permaculture. There's plenty of people all over the world doing amazing work, and it's great to know what they're up to. It's also good because it gives you some colleagues, so going to local meetings, being part of local groups, I think is really essential. It also means you're not on your own trying to do everything. which is quite stressful, and it makes it a lot more fun. There's a whole set of permaculture techniques you should get to know, from forest gardening, no-dig gardening, coppicing, continuous cover forestry, natural building techniques, energy techniques, lots basically. So get to know them and see which one's a good fit for your project. There's also something called appropriate technologies. That could be a solar panel and a hot water tank linked together. That could be appropriate for your site. It could be a wheelbarrow and a spade, could be appropriate. For myself, I manage a large woodland. A chainsaw and a wheelbarrow, for me, that's appropriate for my site. So hopefully that's been useful. You can find out more about me, my projects and my courses on nonstuff.co.uk.